Okay, can you hear me, Emily?
Welcome everybody. My name is Emily Gilmer, and am a podcast engineer with the Mastery of Connections podcast with Alan Holmes, and we are uh, excited to have this new podcast that was just started a couple weeks ago, and we are excited to have a great guest on today by Burke Franklin, who is um, who is the creator and CEO of Business Power Tools and the inventor of Business Plan Builder, and plus many other business apps. So I am going to uh, bring Alan in here, and um, then can get kicked off with our show. So Alan, you come in here and say any more about uh, who you are, what you do, and um, okay, where did my screen go? So I want you to come in here and say about who you are, what you do, and God almighty. Okay, what happened to my screen?
Okay, can you hear me, Emily?
Yep, I can hear you.
All right. Great music intro. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you may be. Live streaming StreamYard here with Emily Gomer. Thank you so much, Emily. This is your master connector, or for the mastery of connections, I'm MC Holmes for this issue. Today, I have an incredible guest. This is a gentleman that uh, I have known for probably a couple months, but I feel like I've known him all my life. I know he's I saw that he was a member of IBI Global and formerly CEO Space, which I was both a part of, and it was a very interesting platform. And just kind of give you a little bit about them: entertaining, informative, motivation, keynote topics such as business black belt, becoming a mindful and responsible entrepreneur, knowing where you're going and trusting yourself to get there. Investor aphrodisiac, making your business irresistible. These are some of the tips that Burke has come across. Burke, my goodness, anybody who knows me, it's very hard to keep me quiet, but I have to be quiet and get educated with the business power tools. I met you on mycity.com, and you have been an inspiring for someone who's just stuck getting started. Tell me a little bit about what inspired you to start Business Power Tools, and why do business owners or not entrepreneurs or those who need a quote unquote blueprint, why should they move forward with your platform? Go for it. Welcome to the Mastery of Connections, Bert.
Thanks, Alan. That's a great introduction. A lot of questions there all at once. Yeah, it was kind of an accidental business, actually. I started 30 years ago, and I'd worked for Texas Instruments back in the day. I'd worked for the Sharper Image catalog in San Francisco. I was the electronics buyer. And then they promoted me over to the catalog department because they liked the way I described the product and thought, I could explain the technology, which is, of course, why I got the job in the first place. And then in writing copy for the catalog, I discovered a word processing system in Silicon Valley. I thought I could, sell these all day long. These are awesome. And so it's a company called CPT out of Minneapolis. But all the word processors, dedicated word processing systems, are long gone. They're replaced by Macs and PCs. And so there I was in Silicon Valley doing marketing work, freelance marketing work for people. I created a catalog for a company selling electronic tools. And in fact, I think his sales went up like 9x because I took everything I learned from the Sharper Image and helped him do that. Anyway, long story short, a friend of mine called up and he said, I've got a deal going with Apple. Apple wants to buy my engineering software, and they don't want to buy the company. They just want to use the product. But the thing was, at the time, the Small Business Administration had done a study of the proverbial 4 out of 5 businesses that fail. And they found that 65, call it percent, or call it 2/3 of the businesses that failed had no business plan. So just to hold that thought. So Apple wanted to see my friend's business plan because they wanted to be sure his company would thrive and develop and support the product going forward, because his is a tiny company. Of course, Apple was Apple. And so I looked at it and thought, I knew nothing about business plans at the time. I'm not a planning guy. I hate planning. I want to just wing it, like most people. I got the ideas in my head. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm going, yada, yada, all that. But really, they wanted to see that, when you're showing another company or somebody else, you want to bring them up to speed on everything about your company quickly. You need a business plan. I saw this really as a catalog of answers or whatever they were looking for in terms of my friend's business. And so, long story short, there we got the deal. So over the next year, I thought I could help people with business plans, and I helped a number of companies in Silicon Valley raise capital, or certainly be a doctor to their business plan, their pitch deck, their financial model, all that stuff. And I say 9 out of 10 of them raised money. One of them didn't. And this is one of the lessons there is you got to be honest in the whole thing all the way through, for better or worse. This one guy just wasn't, and so he didn't get funded. But the other 9 did, which is good. Anyway, so there I am about a year into this thing, standing in the shower and thinking, I've got all this content I've created for all these people, and I could help so many more people if I just took that content and built a template so you could do it yourself. Because really, at the end of the day, you know your business more than any outside person's going to know it, really. And you can write your business plan. You can put it together. It's your pitch. The investors are writing you the check. And so you really need to have that gravitas, that knowing, that internal, just like, you've got it, to really pitch your business to investors, if that, that part of it. So anyway, I thought I'll make this all into a template, thinking at first, well, in case I come up with a great idea for a business that I want to get financed, I needed my own business plan. I wanted the ultimate business plan to do that. And that became our Biz Plan Builder business planning software. It just evolved, and I started selling it with little classified ads. It really wasn't. So it was a long way over. How did I start this business? It didn't start like, oh, I'm going to start this cool business idea. No, it started out of a practical reality, a need that not only my client needed, but a whole bunch of other people needed as well. And I just felt I could help more people write business plans, explain their business to investors in this case. And startups. Of course, everybody thinks, oh, I'm not a startup, I don't need a business plan. We'll get into that later on, because I think your business plan really is your hardest working document in your business, from startup to sell. So all the way along the way. But anyway, the point was, it became Biz Plan Builder. We added spreadsheets to it. We added a pitch deck to it. And altogether, we got it in the stores. And this was many years ago. Then we added Marketing Builder and PR Builder and Employee Manual Builder and Safety Plan Builder and Agreement Builder. We saw all these different builder products, because that's really what they're all about, is helping you build your business. In this case, it's all of these things that unfortunately, most founders, CEOs, presidents, owners of companies just not overlook, but they just don't really have the time to do it. Often don't have the money or want to spend the money on consultants to do it for them. Here's the most economical way to do it. We can do it with you. You can do it yourself. You can just get it done. You can't afford, like an employee handbook, you can't afford to have a lawsuit from an employee because you did something, well, for lack of a better term, stupid. Like I would say, my bumper sticker would be, keep your hands off the help, for one thing. But anyway, not getting into that. But how do you explain to your investors? I mean, according to the Society of Human Resources Managers, SHRM, the average lawsuit from defending an employee lawsuit's about $250,000. How do you explain that to your investors? Like, it was stupid, and we just burned $250,000 of your investment cash. So you don't want to do that. So, but the business plan, back to that, is really the bridge between your fantasy of what this business could, would, should be, and what it really can become. And that's what investors want to understand. They want to understand 3 things: why your product at all, why now, and why from you. And that's really the key ingredients. And that's really what we want to help people achieve with their business, and that makes a world of difference.
Wow, that is so inspiring, because I mean, talking to business owners on a regular day, whether they're solopreneurs or independent contractors or just the everyday person who has a dream. I know I connect with so many business owners who, on various different social platforms, and there's always that one out there. Well, I can do it myself. I'll take some of your templates, but I can just go and just go search for it. What do you say to those individuals, and why would you recommend highly to at least have a one-on-one with you and be educated on the proper?
Well, I think you're alluding to some of the free products because we all know there's all kinds of free stuff on the internet. Go online and look at a free this, free that. And there's the SCORE business plan template. There's the business plan template from the SBA. And I think kind of laughable to me is like, the government really helping you with your business plan. Nevertheless, I mean, they offer a good attempt. It's an outline. I mean, I think my table of contents alone has more in it than some of them. But they'll ask you is also, describe your management team here, for example, and you'll see this blank screen. It might say, talk about their education, talk about their experience, talk about their history. How do you do that? What does that look like? What do you say? How do you say it? And that's really the secret sauce with all of Business Power Tools products is that we actually give you the content to use. And so whether you overwrite it completely or whether you just edit it or add to it, we don't ask you a bunch of questions because that seems kind of inquisitive or like inquisition, answer this question. It's just easier to complete a sentence. We have X number of people in the XYZ industry doing X, so that's not quite, it's better than that. But you would feel, we've got 35 people in the shoe business manufacturing hiking boots. It's a bad example. But anyway, and we have this, and that. And we also do this. And so it gives you a running head start. I picture like getting on the freeway on-ramp, It's that running head start as to what to say and how to say it. And we have guidance throughout it, a little commentary in green text that says, hey, that's like we're sitting next to you saying, hey, think about this, don't do that. Things like don't ever say we're going to get, there's a $5 billion market out there. And if we get 1% of it, we're golden. Most investors hear that you're done, that kind of a thing. So we help you not step in something. We also help you say what needs to be said. And we give you the flexibility to say that. Plus there's videos that go with every section of the plan. There's explanations, there's ideas, there's lots of copy you can certainly start with and use. And that's really the difference. And then the difference is between that and the free ones is what the benefit of that is you're in a hurry to raise capital. Usually that's what people are writing a plan for is they need money. And so, or you're doing a strategic plan for your company, or you're going to sell the business. If you use a blank template, sure, you can do that, but it's going to take you probably an extra 3 or 4 months to get it done because you got nothing to start with. And we can get you accelerated past that so much faster. And that's really the thing is I want to call it the mean time to gratification, the mean time to funding, the mean time to success is dramatically shorter by at least a factor of 2, meaning half. It takes half the time to get where you want to go. And that's really, considering the cost, the investment is a whopping $27 a month is where it starts. And so you can do that with yourself, or by yourself, and you can add more people to it. So it's a collaborative online platform. So you can engage your whole team, get this thing done, and get your plan in front of investors, get your plan in front of new people joining your company so they get up to speed, get this strategic plan created for the new year. You can go back and revisit, who's got the problem? Well, how many of them are there? What's the value proposition here? All that stuff. You don't just go, let's just make new goals. We're going to triple sales this year. Well, and we're going to make some changes. Everybody in your organization wants to know why. Like, why are we doing anything really? And so the business plan is that full spectrum of all the things you need to do to really explain your business to somebody who wants to understand, especially an investor. And you need a business plan for an SBA loan, straight up. I mean, the SBA, they did the study that it said 2/3 of the businesses that failed had no plan. They're going to give you a loan. They're going to make darn sure you've got a business plan. So there's a start to your question.
Okay, absolutely. And final couple questions is, there are individuals out there. Again, this is really good information because it's as in here. And again, I got to learn about you with mycity.com and the mastermind we go on Fridays. Definitely check Burke out there as well. Let me ask you: when someone says, "Well, you know what? I can just do a crowdfunding or GoFundMe or get it from friends and family. What do you say to that?
Yeah, do it. Of course, friends and family are usually your first line of approach because they know you. And the good news is they know you. The bad news is they know you. So, this is really friends and family. I mean, I raised money with my own parents too. It's great. And in fact, it happened kind of inadvertently. I asked my mom to review my executive summary just to because my mom's a good writer. She's an editor and often critical. She's the person like I could do 99 things out of 100 and she'll find the one thing. Well, you could have done this a little better. So, in this case, okay, let's work with mom for a second here. Mom, what do you think of this? Would you edit this thing for me? And so she's editing my business plan. She goes, I'll invest $10,000. I went, really? Okay. So, I mean, that was unexpected, I should say. But, often your family, or friends, all of a sudden you've got this new thing you're doing and they really want to know everything about your business. I mean, put yourself in anybody's place, whether you're a professional investor or your friends and family or whatever, or the neighbor or a doctor or something like that. What would you want to know before you wrote somebody a check? I mean, it's the same questions, why your product or service, why now, why from you, what are you doing differently, who else is doing this you're competing with, what's the market like, what's the world like? I can go on, there's all these questions, and it is fairly complex, especially when you realize it's going to take you probably 6 months to raise capital at all. And because most of the time people just don't have all the answers to the questions. You can go on Shark Tank and listen to what they say, but I went to a panel where people who were on Shark Tank talked about the behind the scenes. There's like a foot-high pile of paper they sign. Everything is subject to due diligence. Due diligence is where the investors investigate to make sure that everything you say is true. Unlike what they did in the Theranos one drop of blood thing, which is completely implausible, but people bought it. And that's the new, one of the new whoa, aha moments for investors. Like you need to do better due diligence on stuff like that. But the point is they want to verify everything you say is for real and where you got your information. And so there's just a lot to it. So we guide you through all of that because we've been through it for 30 years and anticipate the questions and know what they're going to say. So in a way, the business plan becomes your catalog of answers for investors, which is why it speeds the process up dramatically because the investor, they might love your pitch today and they'll wake up tomorrow and go, hold it here. Yeah, let me call my friend Alan. Hey, Alan, you're an expert on this. What do you think about this idea? And then you'll have some answers. They'll call some other people. They'll call their technical friends, their financial friends, their marketing friends, their other friends who do other entrepreneurs, people like other company owners, and say, what do you think about this idea? And everybody's going to have an opinion, of course, and everybody's going to bring up more questions. And now you have even more answers you need to provide. And so anticipating all of that's really what your business plan does. And of course, that's how it evolves because as you answer questions, you bake it into your plan. It's very easy to add to the plan. And as you build your business, you're adding to this document because at the end of the day, you're going to use it to ultimately sell your company. And that's really where the big money is at the end of the day. So, or the end of your life or whatever that is, And so that's really the advantage of having so much content and so much direction and so much already baked into the system is it just speeds up the process.
Wow, this has been amazing. So I want to circle and bring it home by just asking, and don't like to assume, we always say don't assume anything, but businesspowertools.com is that where they can get a demo? And definitely you recommend them just have it on one-on-one with you and just learning about the demo and kind of playing in the background.
Yeah, I'm willing to show it to you myself. I mean, I do that. We've got a video at businesspowertools.com. It's like 7 or 8 minutes, but it really walks you through the whole concept. Really, it gives you an example, shows you some of the pages, shows you all this stuff, and gives you some ideas about the whole thing. And then, of course, you can get a 2-week free trial to kick the tires and play with it, and you keep all your work. So if you want to transition to subscribing to it, everything you've already done to play with it stays there. You can work with the financial models, you can work with the pitch deck, you can work with all, and just see all the ideas that are in it, what it says. And you really get a sense of, this is what investors ultimately want to see. For sure, they want to see your 2-page summary plan because they don't, they're inundated with people wanting them to invest. But they'll give you a couple of pages or they'll give you a read on a couple of pages just to see if they're interested. And then if they want more, they'll say, well, come on into my office, or let's do a Zoom call and walk me through it. Give me your presentation. And then if they're still interested, then they've got the whole business plan. They're going to ask you some questions. You can send that to them. And again, the business plan is like an index of answers to their questions on each area of your company that you're building. And so that's what really, I think, makes it believable, is the fact that you went to the trouble to document all of this, because, you got to explain it somehow, someday. And so the sooner you do, the sooner you're going to raise the capital you need, if that's what you're looking for. And we also advocate, how much can you do without raising money? Because the more you can do and show your business is got traction and working with little capital, maybe you don't need to raise capital. There's a number of very successful, even public companies now, who started out with no venture capital whatsoever. And so you can do that. Or, but if you need money, you're all ready to go. So that's really the benefit of this, and what you need to understand, and the value of using the system.
Okay. And final question, Burke, is who are your power partners? Who would you want to align with, or who's watching the streamline, or connecting with you on the demo or one-on-one? Who are your power partners that we could look out for?
Well, I think one of the people who really could benefit or could use it, and because I've a lot of business consultants, business advisors, coaches, everyone I've talked, I want to say most of them, because I don't want to be absolute, but I want to say that most of them say, "Oh, my clients got to have a business plan." Well, every single one I've talked to said they need a business plan, or I wish they had a plan, or I won't work with them if they don't have a plan. It's like, wow. I mean, how do you really onboard a consultant to help you if they really don't understand your business? You're going to pay them a lot of money to sit there and while you explain your business to them. But if you already had the plan in place, they could help you work through it, certainly, and you can get them up to speed so they can help you where you really need it. But the idea would be for advisors, if your client needs a business plan, is you can do it with them. This is one of those opportunities where, or the employee handbook, or the marketing plan, or the PR, all that stuff, or any of the financial models. There's an old adage where, it costs, or takes, whatever you want to call it, about 5 times as much to sell your first product or service to a new customer or client, compared to selling or upselling an established client or customer your next product. Or flipped around, it would be like, it's easier to go to your existing clients and say, hey, I can help you do this. They already know you. They already trust you. But now I'm offering you a whole new bag of tricks, a whole new toolbox to come back to your clients and say, I can help you write a business plan. I can help you with an employee handbook. I can help you with a safety plan. I can help you with a whole bunch of stuff that's going to get you in business, build your business, keep you in business, and ultimately help you sell your business. And so this is really a wonderful add-on for business coaches and consultants, because most of them, they can't do it for you. They can do it with you, and they can coach you through it. And that's really a valuable service available. And this is what we enable advisors, coaches, consultants to use. So that's those guys. It's Chambers of Commerce, same kind of thing. They've got a whole bunch of members. They talk about, what can I do for non-dues revenue? And I would ask the Chamber of Commerce, is it easier to raise money by going, or generate money by going and soliciting or enrolling new members? Or what if you went to your established members and offered them some extra benefits and tools? You could generate a lot of revenue that way. So there's that, and there's business schools. I mean, these guys are teaching business all day long, and the students want something that's really from the real business world. It's not an academic exercise. This is something for real, where real people are invested in real money. I don't know how much it's been today with Bizplan Builder, but I know it's well north of $3 billion. That's for a fact. I've got a list of people who've had investors. Anyway, so there's just a few examples right there. You can imagine anybody who's got a customer base who's doing businesses can use business power tools are offered to them, and that way they can generate a lot of extra coaching business for themselves with a legitimate outcome that every business needs.
Okay, and bonus question, and I know I said the final question, but this is a bonus question because wonderful engineer Emily Gomer with Streamline, who's helped us so much in the show, has clients on her other radio show, World of Abilities, which she was going about to share with us a little bit in a few minutes. And a lot of her audience members are in Canada and around the global world. Is something Business Builder could you can help clients who are outside the U.S. or is it just mainly in the U.S. or how? Please share with me a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, we do. We have consultants that are all over the place. Consultants in Australia using it. Consultants in South Africa using it. People in the UK. Pretty much anywhere that you speak English. We don't have it translated into multiple languages. Although when we implement the AI into it, we'll be able to automatically translate that. Presuming I've seen these language translators, but I'm not so sure about that. But nevertheless, I think it's good. It all gets better. It all gets better and faster. So that's the idea. But yeah, it is useful. We have, for example, one of our consultants in South Africa is working with a nonprofit in New York. Go figure. So it just enables you to do it. It's online. It's like right here. It's you can do a Zoom call with somebody. You can have your dashboard up and running in front of you both. I'm working with a client right now. She makes tiny homes, and we're looking at the financial model. We can look at it together. The numbers change real time right in front of us both. And so we can go through this thing and put the financial model together. And so it enables you, the collaboration is one of the key ingredients. And that's really where a lot of the value in the Business Power Tools platform is, the dashboard is you can collaborate. So it makes it a lot easier.
Wow. Well, you definitely given us all the mastery of connections. We have all various different resources, and this is a resource I would definitely highly recommend our listeners around the world to get with Burke Franklin, businesspowertools.com. And just reach out to him and demo. I was been on the demo myself. Thank you so much for Burke for being part of us. Your Wednesday with this. Emily, you can close out with the word of abilities. I know that you have other various different platforms that Burke Franklin's Business Power Tool can be streamlined on as well. Thank you so much, Roberto, for being part of this incredible, 26 minutes of just educating us about businesspowertools.com. And like I say, thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing what you do. And highly recommend our listeners to just have a demo and see what happens. Don't want to do it on your own.
See what happens. Right. Thanks, Alan. I appreciate it very much. Good seeing
Yes,
you,
sir.
man.
No problem, brother. Emily, if you're out there, thank you so much for having us on this incredible streamline. I know the World of Abilities happens on Saturdays, and we highly encourage everyone to come out. Who knows? There's a lot of individuals out there who has the ability to learn about business power tools. Um, Emily, are you out there? We're waiting for you to bring us home. Looking forward to just connecting and figuring out how to do next the Mastery of Connectors. Connection, we have it every Wednesday at 8 a.m. Be here next Wednesday to hear about another guest who definitely will have something to share with you. We're about resources and collaborating and connecting here. Collaborating, connecting, and networking is what I do as a master connector, or MC Holmes for this show. And of course, I met Bert on My City to Come. So figure out how to connect with us, and we'll see you on the other side. Thank you so much for being here, Emily. Oh, you want more check? My check. Wait, did she leave us here to just
I don't
connect?
know.
Emily, she's just a sweet person to see. Let me know when you okay. It's see, put it on here. Let me know when you want them on stage to join the show. Oh, I think I just got a message here. Kurt is actually helping him. Kurt, I'm telling him come on in. He's gonna close us out. On in. Let's see here. Never know. See, this is with a kind of a new platform here that we massive connection. Never know what happens here. That's why we say we just let it flow. Kurt, checking on in here. Let's see. Double check here. Okay, let's see here. Emily. Um, Kurt, waiting for your curtain call here.
Is this broadcast live? Is it? Do you edit this on YouTube using the YouTube editor? Can you do that? Kurt, you're muted.
I believe so. And there's Kurt. He's about to come on. Yeah, he spliced. Kurt, I'm gonna tell him you're muted. You are muted. Yeah, they will. There he is, Kurt. Oh, I
How are
know
you
how to
guys
learn how
doing?
to spell.
All right. Is
Well,
this
no,
your
we're doing
channel,
well.
Kurt? You're behind the scene. You're the guy behind the
Been
scenes on
wonderful.
this.
Well, I'm behind the scenes, and we have Emily Gulmer on the controls. She's the podcast engineer. We're on her StreamYard account, coming out to where people are watching the show live stream. So yeah, it's a team effort here. All through what we're doing to grow our use of No Card, and then otherwise that we know each other from the Happy Neighborhood Project, and just kind of being more fruitful and productive with that we know each other, that we are connected. And part of the mastery of connections is to do something with our connection. Right, Alan?
Oh, absolutely. I was sharing with Burke that if it hadn't been for you, I probably would have just been continuing to just flail in the middle of nowhere. But I know that you, Kurt, have allowed me to be a part of this platform, and I know that Business Power Tools will be seen on your show. I don't know if you want to close it out by just introducing where else Business Power Tools audience could see Mr. Burke Franklin with some of the great things that you're doing with the World of Abilities and the Disability Channel, and of course, Mr. Kurt Brosco.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Alan, and great to have you here, Burke, and to see kind of the realm of your service, and see you again from having met you before. So yeah, you're right in this wheelhouse here, because when I talk about No Card, Alan, do we have Burke on No Card yet, or is that still budding?
I had not heard of Note Card yet. So what does it do? How does it work?
Well, Alan, you want to start the honors on that
Boy,
one?
Kurt is the one who actually brought me on. Well, yeah, Kurt brought. You want to give him a no, because No Card is a kind of a platform of business, social, no kids, no chaos, no politics. It was created by Rob Pickering, and Kurt is actually the one who brought me on onto it. Yeah, you know, Kurt, you want to kind of give him? I'm still learning myself.
Yes, so Burke, from the No Card side of things, with the creator Rob Pickering, I know he would just love to talk shop with you, because Rob and all of us with this No Card element, it's a specific lane. And so the triumph with No Card is a unified tool that we know, like in your wheelhouse, Burke, it's about how do you figure out what you're going to do on, say, a web browser, and have it be on the web app side of things. And then there's always this field of having a mobile app, an app on your phone. So as an example, on the phone side, for all of us going out there to expos and in-person events, and then we collect the business card. So you get somebody's business card, and then okay, now what do we all do with that? So one feature, just to say one example of, you can take the camera on your phone, and you can then go ahead and scan both sides of that card, and then go ahead and put that in with your contact that is on that card, and then you can consider the conversation you had or their circumstances, and our No Card can be all loaded up with a library of photos and PDFs, and so you can have those documents, you can have the videos, and you can do a very effective follow-up with every professional conversation, and in terms of professional business introductions. So say the three of us are talking, And out of our conversation, like we're talking about Emily. Emily's not on the screen. So say as an example, Burke, maybe you are not connected much at all with Emily. And maybe Alan and I are like, well, Burke, Emily as a virtual assistant maybe should be using your business power tools. Let's make that happen. We can go right on the app and say, Burke, I'd like to introduce you to Emily. And then we'd be showing you her note card. And then you can go on there and see the displays of her virtual assistant work, to, see the videos that she's sharing, to see the role she's taking on with note card, to see what she does as a podcast engineer, and then to see how she offers the schedule. So if you want help scheduling back with us, she can do all that, and it's all reflected right on her note card. And so it just streamlines the real activities that we do, going on HMP, going on Alignable, going on with World Referral Network, going on to, mastermind call, whatever it is. And then to be productive, to take that we spent that time on that video call, like a podcast is a video call, and then to do some follow-up so we can have a great show here. And then Note Card can help us keep it going. It's a very sticky user interface. It brings people back. So to me, when I'm speaking to you about this, Burke, I think we're speaking your language a little bit. And I know you would have a lot to add. We could probably have an hour follow-up, review with you in your wheelhouse, and then to look at how it all fits together, right?
I've always got plenty to say, that's for sure. But anyway, one of the things I noticed. What's that? I was just saying that I talked to customers, like for example, they might call up and want a demo. I find out, what are you doing? What are you about? How does your business work? I mean, I could show you a whole bunch of different stuff, but it doesn't make any difference if I don't know what it is you specifically are looking for. Now, I keep track of that and keep notes, but I'd like a better way to do it. I know in Zoom, you can turn on the automatic summarizer, which is pretty good actually, but it gets into a lot. We want to pare it down, but I just want to be able to, because I've talked to a lot of people constantly, and I think I'm in the moment. I think I'm going to remember you, and I'm going to remember everything about you. And there I am talking to 10 people down the road. It's like, oh God, what did I talk about with Kurt and Alan back in the day, back a week ago? It's like, we got to remember all this stuff. And so I know there's some elaborate systems. I imagine Salesforce.com does that, but I can't spend that kind of money on something like that there. And so. Anyway, I add people to my mailing list. I send them stuff and try not to be invasive with spam, so to speak. But nevertheless, we need to follow up. But we need to keep track of people. And I don't find very many CRMs that really enable me to quickly take notes, fill in what I need to know about you, and then put in maybe a follow-up date and something like that. I've got my own CRM system, which is about as close as I can get to that, which is what I'm using. And it's baked into the Business Power Tools system. And of course, there's a lot there's always more I want to add to make things better and improve them. So it's an ongoing, there's that Japanese term, it's what is it? Kaizen. It's that constant never-ending improvement. It isn't just like, let's overhaul the whole thing. You can constantly tweak forever. And that's really, I think, the way, the way to go. It's easier, but you do the right things in the right sequence and, make it better. Anyway. But a CRM system that really does that. The other thing I'd like a CRM system to do. What's that?
I'm sorry. I was saying from masteryofconnections.com, which is where you originally connecting with me and Emily. I can send you the note card so you can get to see and working in conjunction with Kurt. We can get you in front of Rob Pickering, and then of course tonight we have like a certified training, but I'll send that to you from Mastery of Connection, because you have such a innovative platform that every business owner definitely within a note card should take a look at, what your vision is. There's so many new startups and the ones been around for a while. So
I see Kurt
has been facilitating me with so much within a note card.
You just put it up.
Yeah, that's my, see, I see that. See, he's kind of my That's my
So it
note
shows
card,
up on the screen there. I just took a look at that. I'll look
kind
at
of
it
float
afterwards.
around and just
One of the things I'd like a CRM to do would be to sort the
absolutely.
calls of people I need to talk to, sort them by time zone. Because it's real easy to be out here on the West Coast of the U.S. and go, I'm going to call this guy. Oh, but wait, it's 5 o'clock here. I could squeak in a call here if they were here, but if you're in the East Coast, it's 8 o'clock at night. They don't want a business call at 8 o'clock at night. But if I knew to call that person first, I would have called them at 2 and caught them by 5. Would have been probably okay. But did not just like, I got to call all these people and not really have them sorted by time zone. It would be kind of handy to do that. That way I know who to call first. Just saying, all you CRM builders out there, there's a feature that might be useful.
Oh, absolutely. And Rob and
Does your
Kurt is
system do
always
that?
looking for new
Put
ideas
in-
and blends. That's why I call
One of your
myself
data points to gather on people is
massive-
time zone.
well,
Alan, you're
Kurt, I
Pacific
don't know
time.
if
Kurt,
you-
I think you're what? Mountain time? Or are you Central time?
I'm Central. I'm in Milwaukee.
You're muted.
I'm Central time in Milwaukee. You guys can't hear me? Hello?
Oh, can you hear Bert? Can you hear him? Yeah, I can hear you. Bert, can you
Alan,
hear?
are you muted? Can you hear you?
uh,
I can't hear you either.
Okay, he's gonna come. No, can you hear me? Uh oh. What happened? Let's see here.
No, I can hear you guys.
Can you guys hear me?
Can you hear me, Bert?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Let's see here. Yes, yes, I can hear you.
We're gonna do a test.
There
You
you
guys
go.
hear me again?
Can you hear me now, Bert?
Yeah, I've been hearing you guys fine. Apparently, there was a problem with my microphone.
Yeah,
so
Bert said he can't hear you.
Yes,
Still can't hear me?
Yeah, Kurt, Bert's the one that can't hear us.
Bert. No, I can hear you. But Bert can't. I don't know what Bert's. Maybe it's his mic.
Oh, Burke is not hearing any of us. Emily, do you want to put in the chat?
Yeah, I can
that
hear
he
you,
can
Kurt.
refresh his.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
It might be within his browser. So if we
No.
just invite him to just refresh his browser.
Oh, there's Emily. Bert, can you hear me? Can you hear us? Bert says, I can't hear either of you.
Yeah, so I think if he comes back in, because he was fine before.
He's refreshing
so I think when
now.
he refreshes. Yeah, because I thought it was me, so that's why I refreshed.
Okay, yeah.
There we go. Check. Sound test, Burke.
Oh, no. It's Bert.
I cannot hear anybody.
Bert, can you hear us?
He said he still can't.
Oh, Bert, I can hear you.
Sounds like he still can't hear us.
All right. Well, Alan, did you basically get everything you wanted in the show? Should we wrap up and offer if he wants to talk to us offline?
Oh no, everything was in show. I just wanted you to. Yeah, I got everything. I just wanted you to connect Kurt, Bert, and Rob Pickering at some point. But no, everything is. You two have been just incredible today. Emily, I appreciate you, young lady.
All right, so Emily, you want to type in
we'll
for
let
Bert
Bert
that we're going to
know.
wrap up
Maybe
the
you
show,
and him can get together.
I would just say we're
Yeah,
going to
Emily,
wrap
if
up.
you let Bert know in the
And maybe give him your note card.
You speaking to Emily on that one, or who?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
So, Emily,
well,
you're
either one of
giving-
you. I just, if you can let Bert know.
Okay. All right, Alan, what do we need to do to wrap up the show?
Okay.
So,
I'll just
Emily,
let
are
him
you going to
know that
offer
I'll be
to
reaching
Bert
out to
to
him.
connect?
Yeah.
So, can we end this so I can end the YouTube, and then we can figure out going from there about
Yeah, but I'm
connecting
just
and
saying, if
whatever
you
else.
let Burke know that you're working
Okay.
on a way to have a
Yeah, I'll tell.
conversation
I'll tell.
aside from this.
I mean, I said we're wrapping up, so I mean, thank you everybody for or Burke for joining us today, and we are here every Wednesday morning at 10 a.m. Central, and so I'd love to have anybody on the show or tune in to our social media on YouTube and Facebook, LinkedIn. If you're interested in being on the show, to connect with us and go from there. So until next time, to stay happy.